And joining me now from London is Sandra Olsson. She is the program manager at Child Soldiers International, a human rights organization that works to prevent the recruitment of children by military forces. Thanks for speaking to us. First, if you can, give us a better idea of how the use of child soldiers in Yemen compares to other places you've worked. And are you getting a clear enough picture of how widespread the problem is there?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that children are used and recruited by armed forces and armed groups all over the world. It's unfortunately not a new phenomenon, but it's something that we've seen increasing the recent years. At the same time, we're seeing different types of conflicts and a lot of more conflicts and longer ones around the world. So children are unfortunately being used and recruited by armed actors, not only in Yemen, but across the Middle East, across Africa, across Asia and South America.
Okay, and where are the most difficult spots that you've had to work with?
Well, there's not a specific region which are more prone to using children in armed conflict, but children will be used where conflict is taking place. So, we've seen in the last couple of years the number of children being recruited in the Middle East and North Africa more than doubled during 1 year in 2015. And we saw that in Yemen 2015, 2016, almost 2,000 children were verified as having been recruited, and that number it's very likely to be an underestimate. But at the same time, we saw 19,000 children involved in armed conflict and still involved in armed conflict in South Sudan. Only last year, we also saw 3,000 new cases of recruitment in the Democratic Republic of Congo alone. So unfortunately, it is a very common problem.
Okay, and one of the things we just saw in that report was the follow-up work. How difficult is it to reintegrate these children and get them the psychological treatment that not just they need, but their families often need as well?
Exactly. I think you've brought up a very important point, and that is the fact that when we offer support and reintegration support to children who have been with armed groups and armed forces, it is not only about the child itself, but it is about his or her family and the community as a whole. In many of the ongoing conflicts that we have today, they involve the entire communities. We're seeing regions who've been affected by armed conflict for decades, for years and years. So when we offer support, it is very important that this is geared to not only the individual children who will, yes, need some extra support and care because they have been through very difficult and traumatic experiences, but we need to target the family and the community as a whole.
Okay, Sandra Olsson, thank you so much for joining us there from London.